Okay, well, I'm really excited about this car. Uh, this is not this specific car, but this car in general is a car I've been pursuing for quite some time. Um, I've had a few Fieros V6 cars. I had an 86 4-speed manual GT. I had an 86 SE V6 auto, and I had an 87 GT V6 5-speed. This car is an 88, which means it has a revised suspension, which is pretty cool. It's got a massive brake upgrade. Probably can't see it fantastic, but stock wheels definitely don't fit anymore. I'd say they're about C5 Corvette spec. On the Inky RPF ones, which are whatever. 17s in the front, 18s in the back, 255, 35s in the back. Overall, it's a pretty clean car. 105,000 miles. It's a driver. There is some imperfections in the paint up here around the moonroof. I'll definitely be looking to get into those fixed because I already just love this car. I definitely need some front end work. A little bit loose. It should be a pretty decent corner carburetor. The front tires are 225, 45, 17s. And again, the rear is 255, 35, 18s. And, you know, these 88s had a better suspension. I've yet to drive one. I just drove this car off the trailer into the barn because it's winter. So it's going to be a while. But I'm really excited. Like I said, I've had Fieros. I've always wanted an 88 GT, you know. And this one specifically popped up in the Fiero groups in Florida. I'm up in Michigan. And I beat up the guy until he finally agreed to handle, you know, the hassle of doing a deal with a shipper and all that stuff in a long distance transaction. And I'm thankfully did. It's a nice car. I've got a lot more info to look into on it. I don't know what exhaust is on it. It's got nice looking tips. I don't know what muffler it is. It did come with some extra taillights. These ones are a little bit hazy like they get, but there's a nice set that came with the car. A spoiler that came with the car, although I don't think I'm going to install it. So yeah, the big thing is, you know, the dew wipes here, they're going to need to be done. Anything from this era, it's going to need it. Odds and ends. I believe there's a plastic tab that's supposed to go on here. Miscellaneous stuff. Heat works, I know that so far. The sunroof doesn't seem to latch down as much as I'd like, and I'm thinking I can figure a way to fix that. Maybe it's bushings or something else, not sure. It came with some extra vents as well. The functional kind of heat extracting vents. The interior, not too bad. Overall, pretty good. Nice door panels. Carpet's nice. Seats are pretty nice. The bolsters aren't too worn. Same with the other side. It's a manual. Obviously, like I said, the Getrag 5-speed. You can see it. It really needs to be cleaned. I don't know how much he's driven in the past few years. Definitely a short throw shifter. I've had others. This one's definitely a shorter throw. Looks like a 10 or 12-year-old aftermarket Bluetooth Sony. It actually works though. It's synced up to my phone. Got this little gauge here, this Aeroforce gauge. It doesn't seem to tell me much. It's got a lot of settings, and I think a lot of them are not hooked up. There's LED lights in it, which I'm not a huge fan of. You can see I'm missing a little cover here for the plastic. I got to look into that. Lots of odds and ends. But I think this car is worth trying to do some refurb on and really clean it up. You know, the 88s are special. The car fires up pretty nice and seems to run pretty good. It does have the 88 sports seat with bolsters that come in and out. Semi operational, you know. There's some buttons here. I really don't know what a lot of this stuff does yet. I really don't. I've never had it. Looks like lumbar. It seems to only really go one way. Maybe these valves release it. Doesn't feel like much. But I'll get out here another day. And you can see these buttons here. These are garbage. This one's cracked. But I love the interior of these cars. I know the lighting is just horrid here. And, you know, for a guy like me, they're actually still a pretty roomy car. You know, I'm 6 foot, 220 pounds, and I can tell you it's more comfortable to me than my C4 Corvette. You know, it seems to sputter a little on startup, like a bad battery connection. We'll see how it does. Turn off the heat, that might help. Yeah, you hear that? So, watch this. Almost like a slight short. I gotta look into that. Neutral, I can love the color of these gauges. Just love it. Love the tack. The tack doesn't seem accurate at all. Idle shows 1500. I mean, I didn't just rev it to 8. There's no way. Not a chance. That's just the door ajar light. And then you've got your voltage, your oil pressure over there. The cool graphics of the circa 2005, 2006 stereo. I might have even had that one back in the day. Looks familiar. So, the engine on this car is the best part. Of course, I can't open it without a key. That's okay. I'll rob the key. This is like the worst put together video I've ever made, and it's all a direct reflection of how excited I am for this car. So, key here. Lift up, and lighting is awful. This is the magic of it here. I mean, you can probably see it good enough if you're a car guy to know. It's a Series 2 3800 Supercharged, so the L67 is. It's often known. So basically this car, you know, obviously stock, it was 140 horse, 160, 165 foot-pounds of torque. This engine is 240 horse, 280 torque. Stock, it's had a few things done. It does have a pulley on it and a tune. Details that, I don't know. Aftermarket throttle body as well. That should be an easy 20 horse, so conservatively, you know, 260 horse, 300 torque. You know, it's still a car that probably curbs around 28. It should be a blast. I can't wait to drive it. It's going to pretty much sit here all spring. Got the taillights here bagged up, some exhaust tip stuff back here that came with the car. Yeah, the shock towers and everything. I wish I had better lighting. I don't. Yeah, everything's really clean. Came up from Florida. But yeah, so that's pretty much the icing on the cake. That's the reason why I bought the car. I was looking for a 88 for years. Looking for a 38 Supercharged for years. Happen to find one that's both. So it's, to me, this is the unicorn Fiero. This is the best configuration you're going to get. A lot of other engine swaps, not dogging those. Any swap is cool. The 3400 dual red cam, awesome swap. Nice revving motor. This thing is just a little simpler to me. A lot of torque. Pretty reliable. Proven to be pretty reliable as far as an engine. It really transforms the car. If they built them like this, if they were at a reasonable price point, they could have held in long enough to have this engine available. This would have been a serious car. I mean, it's got the power to weight ratio of an Acura NSX with more torque. My dream car, one of them, I may have mentioned it before, Ferrari 308. This will stomp that. I mean, this car should run a quarter mile in the 13s, whereas those were, you know, maybe a high 14-second car, low 15. 0 to 60 in 7, this should do it in the 5s. But I don't know. I'll take it to the track. I know it doesn't have limited slip, so maybe on a nice warm day it'll hook. I can tell you, I got it a little bit today. It's 30 degrees out. I mean, first and second gear just wasn't possible. So just from the transport truck to my house. Again, this is not my greatest video. Not that that's a really high bar to meet, but I just unloaded the car. I mean, it's been in the garage 20 minutes, so just really excited. Got the sunroof bag up here, and the wind deflector. That's what that is. Everything looks really clean. The brake master cylinder, everything looks really clean. It's got the jack, the spare tire. Yeah, definitely excited for spring to have a little fun with this thing. Of course, it's December 29th today, so I've got a little ways to wait. but it's gonna be fun. So if you're into these cars, I guess stay tuned. There should be some pretty cool, interesting content. Me having a lot of fun and the hurdles I come across, and maybe some DIY common repair stuff. You know, for items that come up that are going to need to be addressed in this car, being in a, you know, 33 years old, it's going to need some stuff. Definitely going to need probably some ball joints and the sunroof fix, but yeah. No, this should be fun. I'll get some acceleration videos and stuff like that in come spring and see how it compares to some of the other cars I've had, and hopefully this thing will become a thing. I know I really haven't done much of a video on this. This is a Procharged LT4 96 Corvette, but I mean, naturally, you know, it doesn't have oil pressure. Definitely has a bad head gasket. So this is another project that I probably bit off more than I can chew, but I mean, I'll get it done eventually. I've got a short block over there for it. It's a gallon 383, but I'll cover that in another time. So I'm more interested in the Fiero. Isn't that crazy? Supercharged 500 wheel horsepower LT4. Yeah, this is Fiero. Oh my god, this is supercharged. It's fantastic. But anyway, thanks for watching. There should be some pretty cool content, I think, coming up for this specific car. I'm in love with this thing, man. But all right, yeah, thanks for checking it out. And you know, if you have any suggestions on the sunroof thing, if you're a Fiero guy, let me know. If there's bushing kits available, whatever. Yeah, I'll definitely be all ears for any input on that and good resources for parts. So appreciate it. Thank you very much.